Hi, I'm Mark Pack, editor of Liberal Democrat Newswire and co-author with the brilliant Candy Piercy of the party's General Election Agents Manual. I thought for this, the latest in my election briefing series of videos, I'll talk a little bit about postal votes. Because if you're a member or helper or volunteer in some other way with the party, you've probably seen quite a few messages in the last few days asking you to help target postal voters. The reason for this is very simple. There are several million people all around the country signed up for postal votes, and returning officers start sending out those postal votes several weeks ahead of the normal polling day. In fact, the first postal ballots have already gone out and arrived on people's doormats and in people's letterboxes around the country. A lot of people, when they receive their postal vote, will fill in the paperwork pretty quickly and send the postal vote back. What that means is actually, at the time I'm recording this, there are already some ballot papers which have been filled in and sent back to the returning officer. That person's vote is done, dusted. Whatever other campaigning we do between now and the normal polling day, too late for that person, their vote is already cast. So that's why it's particularly important around this time in an election campaign as postal votes go out to target campaign activities at postal voters. Be lovely to be able to canvass everyone tomorrow, but particularly helpful to canvass those people who are just about to receive their postal ballot or have just received their postal ballot. Now, of course, in doing this sort of campaigning, however little, however much you can do, whether it's one extra vote you secure for the party or 50 extra votes you secure for the party, that is absolutely fantastic. And we need that happening all across the country. There is, though, particular benefit in securing those few extra votes in the seats where it might make the difference between us having an MP or not having an MP. 10 votes anywhere in the country, if that's your contribution, what you're able to do, absolutely brilliant. 10 votes in a constituency that makes the difference between a Liberal Democrat just winning or just losing that seat, that's not just brilliant, that's doubly brilliant. Trebly brilliant, perhaps even. And that's why it's been absolutely brilliant the last couple of days when I've been out campaigning, for example, to see so many parliamentary candidates who are in seats that they know we're probably not going to win this time. We're not really in with a chance of victory this time, although we can definitely build for the future. So many parliamentary candidates out leading their teams of volunteers in those target seats where we've actually got a real chance of winning this time. And once this election campaign is over, that candidate and that team will get back to working their seat for all the other weeks of the year. But for the next couple of weeks between now and general election polling day, that bit of extra effort in a parliamentary seat that we've got a real chance of winning could be the difference between one extra MP, more or less, that we get. And that is so important. Because as we've seen in the last couple of years, the number of MPs we have is sort of the currency, the basic currency of politics. The more MPs you have, the more political power you have. The more MPs you have, the more media coverage you get. The more MPs you have, the stronger your organisation is. So every extra vote that you can help secure wherever it is, brilliant. If that extra vote, however, can be in a seat that we've got a real chance of winning, even more so. So I hope this has helped explain a little bit about why targeting postal votes is so important at this part of the general election campaign. If you are out doing campaigning targeting postal votes, make absolutely sure if you're doing any door knocking that the person who sends you out briefs you properly, especially on the Electoral Commission's Code of Conduct. Really important that we don't break that Code of Conduct, and in fact if you do break the Code of Conduct you could be, and indeed quite rightly, expelled from the party. So really important that you make sure you get briefed properly on that if you've not done door knocking of postal voters before. But above all, really hope you can help contribute to making sure we get not only the maximum number of votes, but the maximum number of MPs when the general election is all finally done and dusted. Thank you as ever for listening.